Today I'm going to talk about synchronicities, especially related to numbers. When you see certain numbers, double digits, and I picked this topic because this is something that has happened to me in the past, very, very often, like crazy, before the Kundalini awakening. And I have been dealing with the same thing now in the past few weeks again. Like, it's driving me nuts. And I'm not going to be able to give you the perfect answer. I'm just going to give you my scientific understanding of what is happening. And in the future, I'm actually going to channel the real answer. It's just now I cannot do it because I am blocked. So if you have seen my video where I said it, the problem now with me is that there is a certain rhythm you can go through an awakening or awakening path, and then you have to slow down. If you do it too fast, you fall apart. This was told me, and by these external entities. And in the past over 1 month, maybe two, anytime I try to do something, anytime I'm trying even just to think, to integrate, there is an internal block immediately on my brain, which is really weird. And it's always the same thing I keep hearing: you have to really rest now, don't do anything. So this is something that I have been dealing with, and I'm really curious about the meaning of the numbers. And as soon as I am able to channel again, I'm going to share that as well. But I do have some sort of an answer that is very realistic. So when you look into spirituality, or you look around in Google or YouTube and you see these numbers, it's generally 444, 111, or any type of a double. So it's always the double, like 0808, 2323, 1212. You understand it. And when you look into it, it's always some angel numbers. Your guiding angels say that you are on the right path. I actually have a very different idea about it that is a little bit more scientific. And this is what I'm going to share today in this video. So you have to understand that you have different brainwaves, and different brainwaves have different ways of seeing and processing information. And on the top you have gamma. We don't know much about gamma. It's the highest functioning. This is what I got connected to after my Kundalini awakening, and like, it's a really, really high wave. It gives like very weird brain like migraines, and you can feel that there is like a extra part of the brain here, and it's like you can feel it's working here, but it's outside of your head. And scientists don't exactly know what that is, but they say that it's a brainwave that is able to integrate all brainwaves underneath, and it's not in the nervous system, and it's actually working together with theta. And this is very important because I actually got connected to theta the most. I was predominant in theta. I know it from the brain scan when I had my Kundalini awakening and after the Kundalini awakening. So theta is working together with gamma. This is told by science. Underneath gamma, you have beta. This is what we have as general beta brainwaves when we are focusing on the external world and we are processing information and focusing, working. Underneath that, we have alpha. Alpha is here. And this is the flow state. This is how you feel. And this is where your consciousness is, beta and alpha. So beta is your cognitive conscious, and alpha is your subconscious conscious, your feeling conscious. And underneath that, we go into the totally subconscious part. Theta is going to be your dream state. That's when you see things. So you are dreaming with visions, and feelings you feel. And theta is very active when you are little, like 3 years old. So that's your deep emotions. And also when you do a past life regression, they put you into theta brainwaves. This was very active in me again after a Kundalini awakening. I don't know before that because I didn't have brainwaves before that. And underneath that, you have delta, and the delta is the dreamless sleep that is very active between 2 and 4 o'clock in the night, and that's when the hormones are getting processed. It's a healing state, and you also have to understand that when you get into it, you don't have a sense of your body, so it disconnects you from the body. So when someone is in a coma and they push the arm or whatever, it's actually in a delta brainwave. And delta, in my opinion, that's actually the unconscious, that's the Kundalini line, and I got connected to that as well. So these are different awareness systems we go down in brainwaves, and these are neurocommunications. And underneath delta, this is again, they don't have much information about it because it's very difficult to detect it. There is a other brainwave, and it's called low infra, and it's so low, and low means very, very rigid, that they can again barely detect it, and they can't really do research about it. But what they believe is actually this is what gives brain timing, and this is my understanding, is that this part of the nervous system where the low infra is there is a part when it syncs with these higher ones, with your beta, that with the conscious, and when they sync, like there is a communication, like it tries to push up like a baby. Imagine always these are like lower, it means that it's a more childlike state, that it doesn't have the ability to communicate, but it has the ability to push or to grab attention. And this is what is happening, that there are certain times when this awareness system, this lowest one, is trying to communicate something, and it gets very, very anxious in a sense, or angry, something. And time to time, because it's so active, it tries to warn you. It's a little bit like, you know, when the birds are flying away suddenly because they sense something, you don't know what's happening. So this is what is happening, that your lowest brainwave, because it's able to sense other things that these higher ones cannot, it becomes very, very active. That looks, something is happening, something is going on. And because it's so active, it is able to penetrate your conscious part, that is beta. And that's when you see these numbers all the time. I don't know again what the numbers mean, but the key is that it's always double digits or the same. Like I usually see 4444. That was exactly before my Kundalini awakening. That, oh my God, something just freaking me out. That was I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 444, and it felt like someone was blowing into my eyes. I remember that's when I woke up, and I'm just like, what the hell? It was freaking me out. And that was something that I cannot forget, and it happened a few times after that as well, and it was always 444 in the morning, and always after that there was a shift. And now again, that was last week probably, again this 444, I'm just like, something is going to happen again. But I started to see the double digits 2 or 3 weeks ago again, this 11 11, 12 12, 4, doesn't really matter what that is. But it's, in my opinion, I don't think it's the number is the important. It's more about that it's something is going to happen. You are going towards something. So all of these parts deep down trying to take you to wholeness. So either you are on the right path, and this is what, when you look it up, most of them will say that you are on the right path, or either you are maybe getting off the track, but something is about to happen. And as I said, I'm going to really look into, and instead of these books and whatever what you can find, I'm trying to really channel it to understand what is happening, because you also have to understand that like this brain timing, this is the low infra, is actually what the fourth dimension is, that time and space. So when we get to this fourth dimension, time and space is going to disappear. So this is our block, in a sense, in the system and in our awareness, that we see things as separate so we can process things easier. So it's our block, but at the same time, it's also a protection for us. So we wouldn't be overwhelmed with too much information. And in my opinion, that's why we don't see things properly, because just imagine when you listen to the radio, like the brain timing is something, and maybe the other reality has a completely brain timing. So the frequency is going to be different. So that's why you cannot see another reality, because the frequency is different. And then there is another one that is also different. And when you connect to this, you can actually see more realities. This is what my opinion, that this is where we are heading to. But in order to get there, we have to be able to connect consciously to this lower brainwave, because this is what I have been doing, that the lower you go, you have to integrate to the upper ones, and then you go again and you integrate it back so they can work together. And the lower you go, the upper actually is going to get triggered. We know it from brain scan. We checked it in my brain, what happens after a Kundalini awakening. The lower you go, the higher brainwave is going to get triggered, because more energy is pushed into the awareness. So more energy requires more patterns. So that's why a higher is going to get triggered in your awareness. So this is what I can tell you now. I'm very curious if the numbers actually have an exact meaning. And as soon as I know it, I'm going to actually share it with you. See you in my next video.